Okay, as some of you may have remembered from our Healthy Kids stations this morning with Soundscapers, we have a number of Native American people here today, including myself. This story is from the Native American tradition, and it's how the sparrow became king. This was many years ago, and there was a sparrow flying through the sky, and the sparrow was intent on finding a good place for a nest. So intent was the sparrow, it did not see the black clouds coming in the west. It did not see the leaves of the trees hanging down, showing their undersides. They did not see the other birds taking cover, all of which means a big storm was coming. And the sparrow went from tree to tree looking for a nest site. And then the storm hit. The wind howled, the lightning crashed, and the sparrow was lifted up by the winds and carried into the sky and blown round and round like a straw in a hurricane. On and on the storm blew, and it carried the sparrow right along the coast of the ocean. And finally, the sparrow was able to fly out of the storm, and the storm passed, and the skies cleared, and the sun came out, and the sparrow wondered where she was. For this land was strange and one she did not know. But it looked like a nice place to build a nest. But first, she wanted to check with the local birds and ask permission of the king and queen of those local birds. And a few crows were flying by, and the sparrow said, "Excuse me, but who are the king and queen among the birds in this land?" And the sparrow heard them laughing and said, "We have no king and queen." And all the other birds gathered, and soon they were discussing why not have a king and queen. So they decided right then and there to hold a contest to see who would be king and queen among the birds. And it was decided that each species of bird would send one among it up the sky, and whichever bird could fly the highest, that would be forevermore the king and queen of the birds. And the hawks gathered, and then came the eagles flying from the north. The falcon came, the swan, the osprey, even the goose, the ducks came, the blue jays, the robins, and they all gathered. And soon the competition began. And the sparrow said, when may I fly up to the sky?" And here comes a hawk right above us to hear our story. You can see it looking up in the sky, a red-tailed hawk. And the sparrow said, when may I come to fly and take my turn?" And the other birds laughed and said, "A sparrow, king of the birds, queen of the birds? Forget about it. You're too small." So first the robins went, and they flew so high. And then the blue jays, and they flew higher. And then the peregrine falcon, streaking like lightning, almost touched the bottom of the clouds. And then came the hawk. And the hawk did fly to the bottom of the clouds. And finally, among the eagles, they sent their swiftest representative. And he flew in ever-tightening circles, higher and higher. And finally, he went through the very clouds and out the other end. And all the birds said, "Eagle must be king and queen forevermore." And finally, the eagle, hearing these words far above, was tired and began heading back down. But just then, the sparrow, who had hidden in the eagle's wings, burst out from the eagle and flew even higher. Higher than all the other birds. And that's why to this day, whether you go to Paris or the city or the country or Tokyo or Africa, you will always see the sparrow, because since that day, sparrow is king and queen of all the birds. Thank you.
My name is Valerie Jacavone. I'm the school nurse teacher here at Dyer Elementary School in Johnston. I have Josh here with me today, Josh Fonseca with Soundscapers. We had Josh last year at our Healthy Kids Day, and that's what we just got done holding again as well today. Josh has returned with all of his instruments this year to do something a little different. Last year it was a drumming. This year it was instruments, didgeridoo. Josh, help me out. What else?
Crystal sound bowls, and along with my partner in crime, Joseph Hayes, who had to just take off. So once again, he wasn't able to be in this portion of the video, but Joe is still with us. So
the kids, we have, it's an elementary school here at our Saturday Avance. It's grades 1 through 5. We have an assortment of regular ed, behavior, autistic children, all who benefited, loved the demonstration with drumming last year, so we found it necessary to ask Josh and Soundscapers back again this year to do something a little different, but again, get all of the children engaged. When I say all, I mean all. Special needs, behaviors, regular ed, who totally melt and love anything that we've done with Soundscapers.
So, let me just ask you, how did what we did today go with today's theme of Healthy Kids?
Believe it or not, it was a nice change. We did a subdued setting in our cafeteria where we turned down lighting. We had a quiet atmosphere. We left the fun and the music and the noise outside, and we brought the children in to do a rotation station with Josh and to pretty much settle down and learn how to enjoy the rhythm of different instruments.
And what do you probably think the kids took away from this moment? What are some of the benefits?
That any kind of art, whether it be visual, whether it be musician, whether it be instrument-wise, is all good for the soul. That we all need it. We all need that peace, calm, quiet event in our life to keep us all in harmony, and that is exactly what we accomplished here today, having the children come in and settle down and relax and enjoy the beauty of music.
Let's see. So, any other personal words you'd like to share? Or
I highly recommend Soundscapers for any educational setting. Elementary is what I've had Josh in several times, and the reviews are raving. Last year, the drumming, teachers could not stop telling me how much they enjoyed it. What a nice change, how it got everybody involved. So I highly recommend Josh and some Soundscapers.
And Valerie, thank you for having us in today. You know, it was a really great experience, and Joe and I were definitely happy that we had the chance to share with the kids.
Great.
And we were able to give the kids a different experience, and only time will tell to see what it does to some of them and how they're influenced in different paths in their lives. And it's always good when you can expose people to different things.
Definitely.
So thank you for having me back. And thank you for having Joe and I in here for the first time.
And we'll think of what we can do next year.
Exactly.
Over the course of the year, Josh.
So, once again, folks, second elementary school in 2 months. We're able to bring our services to more people. So, Soundscapers drumming, uplifting lives through spiritual well-being, one beat at a time. And we had a great time. So,
Adios.
adios.